Hey viewers, welcome back to another video. I've got another official race for you today. This is the F4 America Series at the Mexican Grand Prix track at Hermanos Rodriguez. We've got 15 minutes to do in the F4, so I'm starting P3 and it's going to go out, have a good race. Thought I'd record this one because it seemed like a pretty fun one to do. So we're going to see how we get on. I'm probably starting in the best position in P3. We are car 3 as well, so I want to try and finish on the podium for this one. But starting in P3 gives us the best run down into the first corner. We'll just try and actually stay on the track. Getting ready to go. 39 seconds until the grid, but we've got JJR Williams on pole. We've got Luis in second. I reckon JJ, if you can stay in the lead into turn 1, he should be able to drive away from the field. Both of those guys are very quick. And I haven't really done any laps. My first lap of this combo was in qualifying. But we'll see how we go. Clutch in. First gear. And it's going to be lights out. Away we go. Pretty average start for a lot of the field. A poor start for JJ there. From pole position. It's going to be Luis who gets alongside. We're just going to stay behind JJ here, down into turn 1. We're just going to get that slipstream all the way in. Where are we going to go? We could probably go either way here. I'm going to go to the inside. Sort of put it in the middle. Definitely not going to make it 3 wide. But we just keep it in the middle of the track. It keeps the cars behind. Down through turn 2 and 3. And then we'll try and get the drive off of the corner 3/10 between the 3 cars. Pretty clean start from majority of the field so far. As there's going to be a 2/10 gap between Luis. Is he going to go for a dive? That is very far back. He brakes late. I broke later to try and stay close. But the F4 is a bit of a drafting car. If we can stay with these guys until the end of the lap, we should be able to get a nice healthy benefit down towards turn 1 again. But that's the goal. We just got to stay with them until the start-finish line. Again, it's through the middle sector. This is where I was a bit slower in qualifying. Didn't quite have the confidence that some of these guys did. Like right there, turned in a bit late in 4th gear, but you can see the way they drive away. We've got Javier from P4 just behind us, down into the stadium section. Although I've got the stadium turned off, so it isn't really the stadium section. Over the curb, that is about as much as you can get away with in terms of getting on that inside curb there. But we were quick, and we are right with them as we enter the final corner. So this is exactly what we are looking for. 6/10 between or 5/10 actually between P1 and P2. It's very dusty on that inside line. Coming out the final corner, but 13 minutes to go. That was just under a 2-minute lap. But as we head down the main straight, so we need Luis to try and make a move. We need these guys to squabble if we want any chance. They are getting closer. So we head in towards turn 1. Hard on the brakes. And then try take it tight. The car does get quite unstable over some of these curbs. As you can see there's a big skip over that sausage curb. But they are going to be 2/10 apart as we go down the second straight towards turn 4. Luis is going to have a go here around the outside. And now that they squabble, you watch the time that we will gain through this part of the racetrack. The dirty air doesn't affect these cars too much, so we can stay close and Luis can stay even closer. We gained about half a second going through there that time around. Up to 5th, we're going to jump back down to 4th and get that turn in, and that has worked out decently. Take a tighter line to the left-hander so we can set ourselves up nicely for the sort of mini switch over the curb. That is the last thing I wanted to do. That's going to be an off-track. Not the end of the world, though. We did still gain a little bit of time. But that is the trickiest section on this track. In a car which doesn't have mouth-watering levels of downforce, it is a tricky section to get right. Nodding at F1 there. Into the hairpin. We are still close. Closer than we were on the previous lap. And getting on the power early. They are super, super confident, those two, coming out of the final corner. I'm not quite there, but we've absolutely left P4 behind. 5 seconds now is the gap behind. So I don't think that is going to be too much of a worry as we head down the main straight. 4/10 between Luis And JJ again. Closer than it was on the last lap, but I don't think it's close enough to make a move into turn 1. On the brakes for ourselves. Try and clip that apex. We've done that fairly nicely. Bouncing over the curbs. And then over that curb. Geez, they are massively quick through that first section. But I just need them to squabble. Just need them to squabble. 3/10 is the gap between them. We've got a lapped car that's come out behind. So there's obviously a crash on lap 1. I don't remember getting any call, but through we go. Try and get it turned in. There you go. Nicely done. And we just got to try. It's so crucial that we stay with these guys as much as we can into the middle sector. Get it turned in. Oh, just about. They're getting light over that curb. It's taller than it looks. And then 4th gear through. Once again, making that same mistake I did on the previous lap. These guys are starting to get away from me now. It's the last thing I want. And need, to be completely fair. Into the stadium section. This is where I've been quicker than the cars in front. Am I going to be quicker this time around? Not really. Closer though. Into the final corner. And then power on the way out. 2.3, 1.7. That's a 6/10 gap. So they're sort of keeping it at the same at the beginning of each lap. I need Luis to make an inroad. He is car 1 compared to JJ, who is car 2. So I just need them. Just need him to make an inroad on JJ as we go down towards turn 1 again. It's going to be close between the two. But now that they're not squabbling, it's they've swung out very wide there. Some of that classic F4 understeer. That is, yeah, that gap is just going to increase even more at the moment. Down towards turn 4 again. Can I get any closer? Oh, and Luis is blinking a little bit. Down to 2nd gear. Going a bit wide. And then a flick into the double right-hander. That was better. That's what I'm looking for in some of these corners. And, yeah, it's just that understeer. Going through these mid-speed corners is just so bad. Trying to get a downshift might help us. We're not going to get an X that time. I thought I was about to get a slowdown, to be honest. But 8 minutes to go and we're not really getting close, are we? Down into stadium section again. And yeah, Luis is blinking like crazy now. So, one thing we could hope for is that Luis gets a connection black flag and we get a free podium, or a free 2nd place I should say. But I doubt that's going to happen. As out of the final corner we go. Gap's now up to 4.3, 3.7. So we're really starting to trail now. But while we do that, we're constantly pulling out time on P4. 7 seconds is now the gap back there. So, you know, sort of in another one of these no man land races. Down towards turn 1 again. 220 kilometers an hour. Hard on the brakes. And you want to try and stay tight. Just like that. That's exactly what we need. And that was the perfect line through there. And we still lost time to them in front. So they are very, very quick. They were about 7/10 of a second quicker than me in qualifying. So, you know, it was a bad omen for this event. Down into 2nd. Right-hander. Not too bad. But still not quick enough for the top 2. But honestly, if I finish 3rd here, it's not too bad. I am car 3. I will gain a little bit of IR. I'm trying to get as much of it back so I can get back into the top splits more often for the Lotus 49s every week. That's sort of the goal at the moment. I'm only 2k on the Formula license. I think if I finish here, should be up to 2.1k. Whereas compared to my sports and oval, you know, I'm 2.7 and 2.6. So I need to try and get the Formula back up. I had a bad week a few weeks ago. Lost quite a lot of that number, which we all obsess over. Down into the hairpin. This is a corner I am quite comfortable with. And who the hell's this? That's a lapped car. Has kind of come out of nowhere, to be completely honest. I didn't even realise he was there. I was more looking at Javier, the number 4 car. Pardon me, scratching my nose a bit. Bad hay fever at the moment. Down the straight. This guy looks quick. If he comes through, then we won't, you know, we'll let him go. I think. As up towards turn 1 again. He is just about in the slipstream, but he's not making any massive gain on us. Into turn 1. Remember to keep it tight on turn 1 so we can just swing through turn 2 and 3. Just like that. That's the perfect line. That's exactly what you want. And then down straight number 2. This is essentially the back straight, because there aren't really any other massive straights apart from this one up towards turn 4. Try keep it tight again. And then through you go. Very nicely done. That was really good. But this guy behind is quick. This lapped car. It would probably be worth letting him go and just benefiting from a slipstream from him. Turn in early for the left-hander. Nicely done there. But yeah, if he gets a run out of this next sector, then I will let him go, and we can follow him to the end of the race. We're going to take our racing line. Is he going to go for this move? He is. So yeah, we're going to let him have it. We're going to follow him. That's the number 7 car. And yeah, we're just going to follow him till the end of the race, because he is clearly quite fast compared to us. You know, if he's gaining on the leaders, he was very obviously gaining on me, but he was gaining on the leaders too. So let's see if we can follow him. Oh, he's hit the wall there. That's not ideal. Luis just blinked out a little bit. But down the straight, 7 tenths behind. And we've got a 9-second gap to P4, which is very, very nice. Only 4 minutes to go in this race, so if anything is to happen, it needs to happen soon between the top 2, because they are running out of time to have an accident. 3rd gear on the way in. And then bouncing over that curb. Bouncing over that curb. And then away we go again down the straight. And benefiting from this slipstream quite nicely here, I have to say. It's helping us out a hell of a lot. And I'm also able to copy his lines a little bit down into turn 4. Clip that curb on the left. Down to 2nd gear for the 2nd apex. And away you go again. We are now gaining just a small amount of time on the leaders on this lap. We briefly got it down to 7. Now it is back up to 8. Turn in very early. This is a car where doesn't feel like it, but you want to turn in early because it washes out. Even in clean air, it's that aero which doesn't... I mean, it is aero, but it doesn't provide you with that much benefit in corners, so you just tend to wash out understeering, and it's sort of like a 4-wheel slide out of the corner. So early turn-in is the key here. As oh, that's going over a curb. Oopsie daisy. Back into the hairpin. I was a bit too aggressive on the turn-in there, but they are only 4 tenths apart going down the straight. There is going to be a move there, I figure, at the end down into turn 1. We'll see how that pans out. You can see them off in the distance. As away we go down towards turn 1. That's a 45.5. I think that is my best lap of the race. It is not. We're about 3 tenths down on that. We're just going to turn that off. Perfect. And 3 tenths between the leaders at the moment. This is going to be 2 laps to go. Now, we cross the line with about 2 minutes 20 left on the clock. So next lap, or next time by, will be the last time. Luis is 2 tenths behind JJ at the moment. That is really, really close. And if they had an accident of any proportion, it would probably promote us at least up into 2nd place. So we're going to hold out for a miracle. And we're going to see if it happens. This lap car is starting to get away from me a bit now. Not ideal, but he was quick, so he must have been involved on a lap 1 crash down at turn 1 or something to be back there. But I think if he hadn't, he'd probably be mixing it in with the top 3, because he is fairly quick. He is catching up to them quite severely through the middle sector. And then on the brakes, once again swinging out wide. Such a difficult corner to get correct. But 4 tenths between the two up front. It's so close to a good battle. I mean, they've been having a good battle all race, but you just want them, you know, to make that one key error which eliminates both cars, or at least eliminates one car. Because I'll take anything at this point. Into the final corner. Now, onto the final lap of the race. Luis lost time going through the final corner. It's gone up to 0.6 of a second now. That's crucial. Down the main straight. This is the final lap. Oh, someone's messaging me back there. I can look at that in a moment. But 14.5 seconds to P4. So we quite easily had the pace for second place in this race. Down into the first corner again. Third gear. Get it turned in. And then second, bouncing over the yellow curb. If you get it absolutely bang on, you can really use it. And then down the straight. There's a lapped car. He's 50 seconds up the road, so we're not going to worry about him at all. Down into turn 4, you just see Luis and JJ in the distance there going through the double right-hander. Down into second gear for us. And then through the right-hander we go. Not too bad, but I fear Luis is not going to win this race. He's not going to have an opportunity now. He's almost a second behind, so JJ has pulled out all the stops on this last lap to build the gap. He's done well to build the gap into fourth gear and third to get that turn in. There you go. That's not too bad at all. And then down the final little straight into the stadium section. Luis lost a bit more time, but nothing is going to do for those two. It's going to be a 1 and 2. JJ is going to win this race. Luis is going to finish second, so it finished how it started. Finished in that same order. And then out of the stadium section, we go. It's going to be P3, which is where I needed to finish, and we absolutely trounced P4 and onwards. 15 seconds was the gap behind. There is your finish line. There you go. But yeah, we absolutely destroyed P4 and onwards, and got absolutely destroyed by P1 and 2. So there you go. But not a bad race. We're going to gain a fair bit of rating there. That was quite nice. And hopefully you all enjoyed. Stay safe, have an awesome day, make awesome choices, and I'm going to see you all in the next video. So take care, everybody.